Hello, my dear students. Welcome to all of you. And today I am going to teach you a very important topic on English grammar, the use of bare infinitive. You know, you might have studied in your grammar book, bare infinitive is otherwise known as zero infinitive or phi infinitive. Today, I would try my best to inculcate the ideas into your mind. And to explain you, I am using Indianized English so that it would be better for the Indian students to understand everything that I would like to say. At the end of my lecture, I would give you the photographs of the notes that I have made on bare infinitive to all of you. And what is called bare infinitive? The root form of the verb go, play, see, dance, these are called bare infinitive, and you should not use the marker to before them. To go, to play, to see, these are called to infinitive. But without the marker to, the use of V1, the root form or the base form of the verb is called bare infinitive. Let me first tell you where we use the bare infinitive. We use bare infinitive after the modals. The modals are will, would, shall, should, may, might, can, could, must, need, dare, ought to, used to, etc. There are 13 modals, and after the modals we use the bare infinitive or the root form of the verb. For example, I will go to the station. You should write an application. He may come tomorrow. You ought to obey your parents. These are, you see here, after the modals, we have used V1 form or the base form or the root form of the verb, which is called bare infinitive. Again, to tell you that bare infinitive is used after do, does, and did in negative and interrogative sentences. Sometimes in affirmative sentences, after do, does, and did, to lay emphasis, we use bare infinitive. And here in these cases, do, does, and did are treated as auxiliary verbs. We use bare infinitive after do, does, did in the negative and interrogative sentences. Do you want a cup of coffee? Does he go to school every day? I don't want to play chess. She doesn't like to eat fish. These are the examples. You see, after do, does, and did, we use bare infinitive. In affirmative sentences also, we use bare infinitive after do, does, and did in order to lay emphasis. Suppose, he does go to school. Instead of saying he goes to school. Did you play cricket? Yes, I did play cricket. Do you want it? Yes, I do want it. In these cases, we put emphasis using do, does, did. And after this do, does, did, we use the bare infinitive form of the verb or the root form of the verb. Now let me tell you the other verbs after which we use bare infinitive. The verbs are make, let, see, watch, notice, observe, hear, know, feel, bid, have, sense, smell, help, behold. After these verbs, we use an object, especially a personal object. Then we use the bare infinitive. For example, the teacher made us laugh. Let us play. I will have my sister wash my shirt. I will bid my brothers work for you. They saw my friend run away. You see, after these verbs, we use an object and then the root form or V1 form of the verb or the base form of the verb. However, bare infinitive in active voice changes into to infinitive in passive voice. For example, the teacher made the students laugh. Here, laugh we have used where infinitive, and if the sentence is passivized in passive voice, we would say the students were made to laugh by the teacher. I heard my brother shout. My brother was heard to shout. And here you see how where infinitive changes into to infinitive in passive voice. But the where infinitive after let is not used as to infinitive in passive voice. Meaning after let we use bare infinitive both in active voice and passive voice. I let the children speak something. The children were let speak something by me. The teacher let me write an application. I was let write an application by the teacher. And you see here, after let, both in active and passive voice, we use bare infinitive. We also use bare infinitive or the root form of the verb after these expressions had better, would rather, would sooner, rather than, sooner, than, THAN, etc. For example, he is better able to read than speak. Speak is here bare infinitive used after than. I would sooner go to the USA. Go, bare infinitive used after would sooner. You had better take homeopathic medicine. You see, after had better, we have used the root form or the base form of the verb that is called bare infinitive. Next point, bare infinitive is also used after the prepositions such as except, but, and then, THAN. For example, she can do anything except cook. You should not say except cooking or to cook. I do nothing but sit idle. You should not say to sit or sitting. I could not but laugh. You see here after but, here what is a preposition meaning except. After but we have used the root form of the verb laugh. You should not use to laugh or laughing after but when it is a preposition meaning except. I would rather starve than beg. You see here, after would rather, we have used starve, the base form or root form of the verb. Also, after then, we have used the bare infinitive beg. I would prefer to remain single rather than marry that wicked boy. And you find here, after the preposition then, we have used the root form or base form of the verb marry. You should not use to marry or marrying. Next point, when two infinitive structures are joined together, we use where infinitive in the second clause. For example, he wanted to stay here and help me. This second clause, you should not say to help. In the past clause, you might use if the to infinitive is used in the past clause, then in the second clause the bare infinitive is used. For example, other examples are here. He wanted to switch off the TV and go home. You should not say to go home. I want you to sing and dance. You should not say to dance. You have to use bare infinitive in the second clause. The next point, bare infinitive or V1 is used after why and why not whenever we give a suggestion. In this way, why stand here till evening? Why spend money on such useless things? Why not take allopathic medicine? Why not consult a doctor? And you find here that we have used bare infinitive after why and why not when we want to make a suggestion. Next point, verbs of senses or perception apart from taking object plus bare infinitive can also take VING. In this case, the bare infinitive suggests a completed action or event and the VING suggests an incomplete action. The verbs of senses are see, watch, hear, notice, observe. These are called the verbs of senses. Also, feel. This is also an example of verb of senses. And you see the example here, how we can use both bare infinitive and an ing verb after the object in case of these verbs. Example, we saw them cross the river. Here we have used cross, the bare infinitive, meaning they are crossing the river is completed. If the action or event is completed, we use bare infinitive. So we said cross the river. We saw them crossing the river, meaning they are now inside the boat and their crossing is not complete and it is a continuous action. So we say we saw them crossing the river. I heard him shout, meaning he shouted once. I heard him shout. Here shouting is complete. And I heard him shouting, meaning he is shouting continuously. So whenever the action is incomplete, we use VING form, and if the action is complete, we use bare infinitive form after the verbs of senses and perception. Similarly, the verb help takes either V1 or bare infinitive or 2 plus V1, that is called to infinitive after the object. For example, I helped the old man to lift his heavy iron box. I helped my father to weave a piece of cloth or weave a piece of cloth. I helped the teacher to organize a meeting, or you can say I helped the teacher organize a meeting. Both are correct. So after the verb help, we can use both bare infinitive and VING form of verb. So the formula is help plus object plus bare infinitive or to infinitive. Both are correct. Another point, when need and dare are lexical or full verbs, they can take to infinitive after them. Need and dare are two modal verbs, but when they are modal verbs, they take bare infinitive. If they are main verbs or lexical verbs, they take to infinitive. For example, do you need to go home? He dares to call me a thief. But whenever need and dare are modal auxiliaries, they take bare infinitive and they are used in negative and interrogative sentences. Need you go to the station? I need not go there. How dare you say so? I dare not stand before the principal. And here you see how we use to infinitive after need and dare when they are lexical verb or main verb or full verb. Other examples are in this way. You need not come here. Need you write an application? I dare not stand before their master. These are other examples of need and dare as lexical verbs. The marker to in the modals used to and ought to is a part of them. It should not be considered to be a separate word. Hence, bare infinitive or the root form of the verb is used after used to and ought to, because to is a part of these phrases used to and ought to. I used to teach him Urdu when I was a student. My father used to catch fish in the river every day. You ought to work hard. And here you see, after used to and ought to, though there is the marker to, we have used bare infinitive after them. But when the expression used to is preceded by the be verb, be verb means be, am, is, are, was, were, have been, has been. We use an ing form of verb after used to. The formula is be plus used to plus bing form. I am used to reading round the clock. He is or he was used to working hard day in and day out. We are used to walking miles and miles of distance. So, in this way, if used to is preceded by a be verb, then we use a ing form after it. My mother is used to watching TV long hours. My sister is used to cooking for long hours. Our headmaster was used to teaching for 3 periods. In this way, we use bing form after used to if it is preceded by the be verb. The word save, S-A-V-E, it means to lay by or to protect. But in Old English, save was used as a preposition meaning except. And therefore, when the word save is used as a preposition, we use bare infinitive after it. For example, he does nothing save drive his dilapidated car. My mother does nothing save cook. Here you find we used the bare infinitive after save when it is a preposition meaning except. Thanking you. I am giving you the notes I have made to understand the use of where infinitive. And you will subscribe the channel, share it, and like it, and thanking all of you. I am now giving you the photograph of the notes. This video is especially for Indian students who don't understand Odia. My mother tongue is Odia, and I have tried to make this video in English. And I think, I hope, I expect you will all understand it. Please like, share, and subscribe.